Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and to like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, hosting Cruz, and Nicklauz Flaz, de Vega Alta, Puerto Rico, has done it yet again, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, Nicklauz Flaz has turned in yet another impressive performance. Ever since his loss to Figueroa Boca Chica, where he got stopped in the first round, he ain't fought for over a year. He came back and fought Brian Ceballo, 13-0. He won that fight by majority decision. I've talked about this many times before on my channel about Nicklauz Flaz, but it's always a pleasure to give you guys the rundown again, because it's very impressive. Then he followed that up with Jahai Tucker. Just beating Jahai Tucker alone is impressive, because Jahai Tucker is, right now, he hasn't lost since, and he's kicking ass, right? Then he followed that up with a very good fellow fighter in Luque Santamaria, who's fought both the Ramos brothers. Jesus Ramos and his brother, Abel Ramos. That was a very impressive performance and win for Nicklauz Flaz. Then he followed it up with 3 more victories over Alfredo Escarrega, Christian Gomez, and recently this past weekend on ProBox TV yet again, Alan Sanchez. And every fight since his loss to Boca Chica, he's 6-0 with 3 KOs since. And every fight since then, in the 6th fight that he's had, all performances were impressive. And the crazy thing about these performances is that the last fight against Alan Sanchez, which we recently saw, was the most impressive out of all. This one here was easy work. I mean, Flaz made it look easy. His performance was effortless. He was relaxed. He was sharp, timing on point, and he just took it to Alan Sanchez, broke him down until he was able to land a counter, a time right hand right on the chin, and Alan Sanchez buckled for the referee, and the referee said, you know what, you had enough. I mean, and then when the referee stepped in to wave the fight off, Nicklauz Flaz is skipping and hopping and celebrating like he just stole candy from a baby. Like, easy work. Smiling like when Matias celebrates and he does that walk with his hands in the air and, you know, walk it off. Walk it out. But, yeah, Flaz, man, he's 15 wins, 2 losses, and 10 KOs. And I've said this before, Flaz is really, he went from just an opponent, ladies and gentlemen. This is a guy that's just been fighting in Puerto Rico at home on local cards to now, ever since upsetting Jahai Tucker, he went from a local fighter in Puerto Rico to fighting on most of his career in Puerto Rico to a serious comer, a serious contender. In the welterweight division, where is a pretty solid weight class. You got world champions in there like Brian Norman Jr., Duran Boots Ennis, Mario Barrios, and you got Raleigh Romero. Now, I've said it before, Nicklauz Flaz will be world champion. Mark my words. I don't know if this may age well, but I'm putting it out right here. Flaz will be the next welterweight world champion from Puerto Rico. And I'm not just saying it because I'm Puerto Rican. It's just the work has been put in it, has been being put in. You know, Flaz is showing anytime he steps in the ring, he shows up, he steps up, and he performs and beats the hell out of his opponents. You know, he's 6-0 with 3 KOs, and all performances were impressive. And every fight, he gets better. Every performance gets topped. He is on the rise. He is creeping up in the welterweight division. And I don't know if Jerron Boots Ennis, Brian Norman Jr., or Mario Barrios, or Rolly Romero is even paying it. I wonder how much attention are they paying Nicklauz Flaz, because Flaz is creeping up on them, and I don't even know if they realize it, because Brian Norman Jr., Boots, Barrios, Raleigh, I'm sure they got their minds set on unification and fighting each other and fighting the big names of the sport. But Nicklauz Flaz is creeping up on them. He's ranked number 9 in the WBO. He's ranked number 9 in the IBF, and he's ranked number 10 in the WBA. So he's highly ranked. He's ranked. And with these performances that he's turning in, he's just going to get better and better and better, and his rankings is going to get better and better and better. And next thing you know, within a blink of an eye, Flaz is in the ring fighting for a world title. And that's going to come. You know, that's going to come. Is at this point right now, Flaz, if he was not to become world champion, he would be it'll be a disappointment if he does not become world champion. I mean, he's that good. Flaz he has an entertaining style, a lot of punches, a lot of aggression, can take a good shot. One thing I like about Flaz, he's one of those fighters that can get on the offense and at the same time get on the defense. So while he's throwing his shots. So I say this, when his opponents are throwing back at him, Flaz has excellent sidestep and head movement. And while his opponents are throwing at him, he's evading those shots and at the same time countering back. So you really have no time to get out of harm's way and set yourself up. Because when you're on your offense, Flaz is moving out of the way, but at the same time countering with an uppercut, a right hand, a jab, a body shot. And that's what makes Flaz entertaining as hell, because he's on the defense and on the offense at the same time, with pressure, an iron chin, and comes to fight. You know, he's not the hardest puncher in the weight class, but he's got respectable pop that when he hits you, you think about something. You think twice before doing something. So yeah, man, Nicklauz Flaz, ladies and gentlemen. TKO's Alan Sanchez in the 4th round. Impressive performance. Easy work. And this is a guy that's been in there with Luis Colazo. He's been around, man. He's been around. 6-0, 3 KOs since Flaz's last loss by Boca Chica, TKO, in the 1st round. And ever since then, he's made a huge turnaround in his career, to the point now he's ranked in the WBO, IBF, and WBA, and is in contention for a world title. Now, if you ask me, can Flaz beat any of the world champions and compete with them? He has a tremendous shot. I'm not gonna sit here and say Flaz beats Brian, beats Boots, beats Mario Barrios, and Rolly Romero. I'm not going to say he beats all those world champions. You know, I'm not going to be here and be biased at all. But Flaz can compete with them. I can tell you that. He's got the skills. He's good enough to compete with them. I like his chances with Mario Barrios. I like his chances with Rolly Romero. Those are good fights. Him and Brian Norman Jr. is a good fight. Boots. I can't say he beats Boots. That's a tough fight. Brian Norman Jr. is a tough fight. Mario Barrios. I can see that. I can see Flaz beating Barrios. You know, it's gonna be a good fight. And Rolly Romero is a good fight as well. But Flaz is capable of anything, man. Look at that. He knocked off Jahai Tucker. So he's capable of anything. Of anything. Expect the unexpected. You know, I always say when you step into a boxing ring and you got two hands, anyone has a chance. Anyone that steps into a boxing ring with two hands has a chance. So yeah, Nicklauz Flaz yet again turns in another performance, maybe his best yet, in the 6 fights that he's had since his last defeat. So yeah, man, you're looking at the next world champion out of Puerto Rico in Nicklauz Flaz, de Vega Alta, Puerto Rico. I can't wait for his next fight. He's really turning into a fighter to keep eyes on. He went from just being an opponent to, like I said, a contender. And I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to what's next with Flaz, and I can't wait to see Flaz fight for the world title. You know, he's got what it takes to fight for it and to actually win it. You know, but it's not gonna be easy, man. Brian Norman Jr., Boots, Mario Barrios, Rolly Romero, they got those titles for a reason. You know, they're good fighters. So we'll see what happens. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Ocean Cruz. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys about boxing right here. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.